Shamar et Chodesh, that word Chodesh, refers to the month, but it also refers to the renewal of the month. It means both things. The word Chodesh can mean to renew or to refresh. And so therefore, it means to renew and to refresh. The month is started over again. It is interchangeable with the Hebrew word Yareach, which refers to the Yarach, which is the moon. And oftentimes Yareach is spelled Yarach, that means moon specifically. So therefore we know that these two revelations refer to the renewing of the moon. And we're going to look at that even further. So therefore we know that when the new moon is, we know, we can, in other words, the point of all this is that we can know for sure when Yahuwah's appointed times are. It is not beyond our comprehension. It is not too far for us or too hard for us to grasp. It is not, some people are trying to make these things so complicated. They try to create these various concoctions for what they think the calendar is all about. But the reality is, it's all right here in the book. It's written very simplistically in the Hebrew, and anyone can find this information out. You can look it up in concordances, you can do things like that. And even in the English, you get enough information to know that it's in the 7th month. All the English translations say it's in the 7th month. A lot of them even use translate the word Chodesh as new moon. So it's very simple to find this information. It is directly tied to the moon. Yahuwah's calendar is in the heavens, in the Shemayim. And he also uses signs on the earth, as we have discovered, such as the Abib, the ripening of the barley heads. Because it says, to Shamar et Chodesh ha'Abib, to look for the sign of the renewal of the moon that happens during Abib, at the month of Abib. Abib, that word literally means when the barley is a stage of development of barley. When the barley is in a stage of development, when its heads can be roasted with fire, yet it's still tender and green. It hasn't fully ripened, but it's ripened enough that it can be roasted on the fire as an acceptable offering to Yahuwah. Then it is called Abib. So it is in a specific time, and that happens in what people call the spring. Okay, so that is very important to understand. We're to look for the moon that happens during that time when the barley is Abib. I have an entire teaching on this. Again, Rosh Hashanah. If you haven't looked at it, look at the video, the lesson in this series, Rosh Hashanah. And also look at Rosh Chodesh, because it talks about both of these ideas in great detail. It should also be noted that term Rosh Chodesh, not only does it give us the raw definition in the Hebrew and the Greek of what the new moon is, but the very term Rosh Chodesh refers to the crowning of the head, the crowning of the Rosh, referring to the birthing of an infant. So when an infant comes into the world, generally it comes in head first, and that is called crowning, and that is the reference point of the Rosh Chodesh. That word Chodesh comes from the root Hadash, which means to make new. Chodesh all by itself means to refurbish and to renew and to make new. And the example that is given specifically for Chodesh is to refurbish and to make polish, referring to literally polishing a sickle which is used for harvesting grain. And this is why that the Chodesh, the new moon, that first sliver of the moon, looks like a sickle in the Shemayim. Remember, he made signs to be in the heavens, and these signs, the sign of the sickle, lets us know when the harvests are coming, because all of the feasts are dependent upon the harvest in the land. But not only this, but Rosh Chodesh has its equivalent in Aramaic as Rosha Chodesha. And Rosha in Aramaic, Aramit, not only does it mean the first point or the chief point or the beginning or the head, but it also literally means the edge of a blade or the edge of a sickle. So then in Aramaic we have more witnesses. But Rosha also means the tip of the head, the tip of the sword, and the tip of the finger, referring to the fingernail. And it is very clear that that sliver in the Shemayim, that sliver in the sky, is a picture of the fingernail. It is very obvious when you look at the Aramite, when you look at the Aramaic. So Rosh Chodesh in the Aramaic is very clear. It is the refurbishing of the tip of the blade, the refurbishing of the sickle. So in Aramaic and in Hebrew, we see the dual representation of the idea of the sickle, of the fingernail, of the blade. It continues on and on and on. And furthermore, we know that it has to be this point because, like we said before, Yahuwah created the lights to be for the signs. So when that first sliver is seen in the western sky at evening, that will be the new moon day. That will be the first day of the month. It lasts for 24 hours from evening to evening. And then each and every day for approximately 14 to 15 days, the moon will be seen each and every night to be a little wider and a little wider until you have the full moon. And then from the point of the full moon, it can appear to the naked eye to be full anywhere from 2 to 3 days, just depending. And then it wanes away, and then there is no moon for 1.5 to 3.5 days. And because it is not always known when the sliver will be seen, the time period of waiting for the sliver is referred to in the Hebrew by an idiomatic expression which is called a day that no man knows the day or hour. So that very familiar phrase that we have heard all of our life that refers to a day that no man knows the day or hour does not literally mean that no man could know, because we are to know the season in which our master will come, but rather is referring to Yom Teruah, the day of trumpets, which is a day that no man knows the day or hour, because we wait any time from 1.5 to 3.5 days looking. The watchman looks from the wall for the sign of the sliver, and then he goes, the two witnesses go and declare that they've seen the moon, and then it is announced by the great court. They sound the shofars, and all work ceases, and Yom Teruah begins. It is a time that no man knows the day or the hour.